All right, so you just got the TOPDON Phoenix Scope and you want to see how to set it up for measuring LIN Bus and CAN bus circuits. Let me show you. All right, so your physical connections are pretty easy. You just want channel 1 to be on your CAN high and you want channel 2 to be on your CAN low. After that, it's just a matter of setting the scope up itself. So both channels will be set up the same. We're going to put them on a 1 volt per division setting right here. And if you scroll down to the bottom, we're going to go to the bandwidth filter and apply a low pass filter of 10 megahertz. Now you don't have to have that bandwidth filter in place. It will actually still function normally without it, but it does help keep from having external interference from messing with your signals. So next we need to look at our time base. So I usually keep it on 10 microseconds. That gives you the view that you see here. You can zoom out if you need to for a longer capture, but you will get to a point where it'll start to alias because of the sample rate. But 10 microseconds will usually give you the cleanest looking waveform. So the only thing left after that is to set your trigger. So that's going to be this level bar right here. So you can set a trigger on any of the 4 channels just by toggling through right here or right here. But we're going to set it up on channel 1. And then from that point, you just take and scroll just like this. So you want to get it about halfway up the waveform. So that's going to be close to about 3 volts. And from that point, it'll kind of keep your waveform from just passing by, and it'll kind of lock it in place, so to speak. So that is all of the basics for setting up for a CAN circuit. The only other thing that you can do that I usually do is go right here to this menu and pull up a math channel. And you can use 2 different math channels. So we can go channel 1 plus channel 2, which should give you a steady 5 volt line, which I normally use for finding intermittent electrical issues like broken wires or high resistance. You can manipulate the harness and you can see your line right here dropping out. And the other math channel you can use is channel 1 minus channel 2, which will give you the actual differential voltage that the modules use when they're actually reading and communicating. So it looks like this. If you have any issues, it will show up in this differential voltage. Sometimes you'll see the normal waveform look a little weird, but if it affects both circuits, your differential voltage will actually come through clean and it won't actually cause an issue. So it's a good thing to look at just to make sure you're not chasing the wrong thing. So next is a LIN bus circuit. So this is a single circuit or single wire circuit. So you only need 1 channel on your scope. So I'm going to hook one side of the lead up to ground and the other lead up to the actual LIN bus circuit itself. So now let me show you how to set up for that. So a LIN bus will toggle between about 12 volts to just around about 1 volt. So you need to set your voltage per division at about 2 volts. That way you'll capture the entire waveform and it's big enough that you get good clarity on it. So for the scope setup, like I said, I'm going to use a 2 volt per division voltage scale. We don't have to use a bandwidth filter, but same rule applies. Like the CAN bus, you can use it. And time base, this signal is a lot slower than a CAN bus. So I've got it on 500 microseconds for this time. And for the actual trigger, we're just going to move that up to about 5 to 6 volts. And that's basically it. There goes your LIN bus measurement right here. So that's a really quick walkthrough of measuring CAN bus and LIN bus signals. If you have any more questions or if you want me to do a different demonstration, then just let me know and y'all follow me for more.